welcome back to the UEL Sports Stock here in East London. Sheffield Steelers and CWBA in the second semi-final, looking to make it through against the London Titans. Sheffield Fitzpatrick is with me. This looks like a pretty evenly matched game on paper.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both games that they've played against each other in the season have been close games, and it will come down to who's shooting the ball better and who can get the most stops. Easier said than done when I'm sat up here. Both teams full of a lot of talent. Yeah, and hopefully an exciting game for us all to be watching.
Well, the two teams being introduced to the crowd here at the Sports Stock, and Dylan managed to get us some pre-game thoughts from the two teams.
Morris, so how's your season gone so far?
It's gone pretty well. It's been a really good season. Certainly the top four teams have been really closely matched. So we've all been beating each other all season. It's been pretty tight right until the very end. So it's looking really good for the playoffs.
That's good. And how does it feel to be here today?
It's good to be back. After a couple of years away, it's great to be playing again. It's been a really good competitive season. And the playoffs are awesome, so we're really looking forward to the game against Coventry this afternoon.
That's great, thank you very much.
But yeah, there have been some results that we just didn't quite click, and especially in our offence. So yeah, mixed, but I think we've just about managed to build some momentum up in the last few games.
Yeah, that's good. And then what does it mean to you to be here today?
Yeah, lots really. I think in the season that got cut short because of COVID, we were performing really, really well, and I think we were looking forward to doing a bit of a job at the Champs weekend then. Obviously that season got cut short, so we've managed to, even though we lost a couple of players, we managed to recruit quite well. So yeah, I think there's a lot of pent-up frustration from it's been a long time since we've come to a Champs weekend, so yeah, it means a lot to be here this weekend.
That's great. Ali, so how's your season gone?
But for me, I think it's a great spectacle that the Premier Division's as competitive as it's ever been. That I can remember that there's 4, 5, 6 teams that are beating each other, losing to each other, and I think that's great for the sport.
That's great. And then what do you hope to achieve by the end of the weekend?
It's a win, obviously. I'm always going to say that. It's going to be tough. There's 4 really good teams here. Our goal's always to win, so we've got to obviously focus on today, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, George.
Thanks to them.
Well, obviously your coach is playing in this game, so you have to be careful because minutes are at a premium tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got my coach in Steelers and I'm a Coventry player, so it's going to be hard for me to stay neutral both sides here. But yeah, phenomenal, and watching George's ability to switch between being a player into a coaching role, it's been phenomenal, and I think that's probably why, yes, Loughborough Lightning are full of talent with the women's team, but also his knowledge of the game, to be able to translate that into a coaching capacity has been phenomenal. And yeah, I hope he puts into place what he makes us do on the court today and shows us how it's done.
And he is a key player in this game. If he plays well, then the Steelers have a really good chance of winning.
Yeah, absolutely. George 94 and Maddie Thompson number 11, them two there, if they get going offensively, they're unstoppable. You've got to jump one side on George, and then Maddie's wide open. You jump Maddie, George is wide open. So yeah, they're definitely a hard team to defend. But Coventry have strong offensive threats too. So I'm excited to see how this game goes, and I think it's going to be the team that starts the strongest in the first half that's going to set the tone for the rest of the game.
And obviously in the first semi-final was all about defence. Are we looking more offensively minded in this game?
I think both teams are evenly matched within their defence. They have the ability to press and push up high. But yeah, both teams here are definitely favours offensive over their defensive skill. But we'll have to wait and see. They've both played each other a couple of times in the season and both had very close games, so it could literally go any way.
And they talked in the in the interviews about the excitement of being back at National Championship weekend. It is a great occasion in the calendar and a great opportunity to see everybody again. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. For me, obviously, I'm here to get a job done and win that gold medal tomorrow. But also just to be able to see everyone enjoying being here and playing the sport they absolutely love, and they train so hard week in, week out to put on a great performance for the crowd today.
Well, the two teams keen to get things underway. They're out and ready. There's still 30 seconds ticking down on
they've waited 2 years for this national champ game. They want to get going.
Yeah.
But a strong starting five for both teams here.
Well, it will be Bates and Smith to contest the opening. The referee looks like he's going to tip the ball up. The clock is still ticking down to 0. There we go, they've reset it to 10, so we can at least get underway. And it is CWBA who come up with the opening possession, well, nearly. Quick turnover. And 2 points for Nagel.
Yeah, Nagel, a key player here, that he might not necessarily get the 20-30 points a game, but he finishes the points that he has the opportunity to have. And
an early 3, what a way to start the ball game there with Robinson hitting the triple.
Yeah, most of the time I'm really grateful that he's my teammate, because his ability to shoot a 3 ball is phenomenal.
It's pass inside and foul called. I think it's going to be May's number that's shown.
Yeah, it
to
looks
the
like
table.
a chair foul there. But a strong start there by both teams.
First free throw off the mark for Bonner. Levels the game at 3 points apiece. It's good early position from Smith, but no points at the end of it.
Absolutely, though, I think he just needs to keep going back to that, and that opportunity will be there, hopefully, time and time again there for Smith.
The foul called on Safir.
Yeah, a player that's only recently been called up to the Premier side, so yeah, a massive opportunity for her today to showcase her talent.
Again, it goes cross court to Smith, and still can't get that one to bounce in. He's spinning round, but his pass is loose and stolen away. He's chasing back to try and make amends for his error, and he actually compounds it by committing a foul.
Yeah, and you can tell by that frustration that I passed the referee that he's not happy with his own individual performance into that offense, back into the defense.
Mack at the line, shooting 2.
Yeah, Sam Mack, usually a player that struggles offensively, actually. Great to see him finish that free throw.
And he makes them both. Dangle brings it forward for the Steelers. Bates' shot rims out. Foul called on Thompson. I'm wondering if that was a deliberate foul because there was a player down. I knew they had a lack of numbers.
Yeah, both players there taking big falls. I think that just shows how competitive these two sides are. That they they want to be knocking each other and being showing their authority from the start.
Elbow shot is off the mark from Robinson, but a second chance opportunities. Max Vin's baseline and finishes off the glass.
That's a great finish there by Sam Mack. He had the ability to get the rebound and pass it out, and I'm glad selfishly he took it on himself to make that finish.
Bonner cross court to Thompson. Again, that's knocked away. And spun in off the glass by Hassel. Good start.
Yeah, Liam Hassel's one of the most efficient shooters in the game that I've seen. His ability to be able to finish at all various angles is phenomenal.
Thompson's shot is blocked by May.
Great block there by May with his long arms. Very deceiving player. You think he's going to be small, but no, his arms are very long. Great finish there by Robinson.
And a perfect start really for CWBA, getting out in transition, getting the scoreboard ticking over early on and forcing Sheffield into a timeout less than 3 minutes gone.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal start by Coventry. And as Ali said in the pre-game interview, their head coach for Coventry, they've struggled to click and gel, and it's probably taken 3/4 of a season for them to. They've had new players come in, some people go and play abroad to get used to it, and luckily this is the moment when you want to start gelling and you want it to go in your favour. Well,
that's the thing. It's about timing in this sort of competition. It's about playing your best basketball at the end of the season, and if that's where they're at, then that's.
And some of the Coventry players, they've been playing together right at the start of their career. I've been fortunate to play alongside them in the junior careers, and they're now maturing into adults and showcasing that they deserve to be in the top 4 teams in the country. And I think Steelers don't necessarily need to panic here, being 8 down. They just have missed a couple of looks. They've had the right opportunities, and they will start falling.
Well, the one thing I'm sure Kev Hayes has said in that timeout is to take care of the ball a little better, because some of those points have come from mistakes at this end of the floor. Here's Bates in close to the basket. He's not going to miss from there.
No, and that's a phenomenal cut there by Bates to get right in the basket and take that extra half a second just to compose himself on that finish.
Hassel given the shot and he knocks it down.
And then George there tried to get out to him, but give Liam half a second and that ball's going up.
Bates drives into the low block, cross court to Bonner, sizes up the shot, rims out. Robinson is first to it.
And that's great vision there by Robinson to make that pass to Sam Mack. Unfortunate there, we're not getting that finish.
Eagle cross court to Thompson. No shot, doesn't drop. Steelers not getting the roll here in the first 5 minutes. Shot is long. I think that might have come off Thompson to go out of bounds, so it'll stay with Coventry on the end. Thompson this time able to get 2 hands on the ball. Bates under pressure, gets it away to Bonner. Nagel now off the glass and in.
Yeah, and that's a great individual move there by Nagel. He's a player with phenomenal chair skill and speed, and his ability to finish has definitely improved throughout this whole season.
It's a good pass and good positioning in the first place to stretch the lead back to 8. Nagel trying to squeeze through a gap, and he takes the foul.
And I definitely think Nagel needs to keep doing that, and Coventry are going to have to adjust that by not giving up fouls. It opens up the rest of the floor then for the likes of Thompson and George to get those open shots.
Bonner to Bates. Nagel with the offensive rebound and the quick putback.
That's exactly how they drew it up, absolutely. That great extra pass into Bonner, and Bates couldn't get the finish, but Nagel feed the hot hand at the moment, I think, for them.
Perfect 3 of 3 for 6 points. Tough shot is good from Robinson.
Impressive from Coventry, the ability to be able to play both in transition and in their half-court game.
Again, hands in the passing lane, and they've got numbers in transition here, CWBA. Nice pass under a lot of pressure there from Hassel, but they can't convert in the transition. Thompson up top to Bonner from the foul line is good.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you win a power game with George and Maddie on that side. The help has to come over straight away and allow that open shot from the top.
Another 3 is up. This one doesn't drop for Robinson. Thompson on the baseline, looking for options. Across to Bonner. Now Bates has it, 5 on the shot clocks. Squares up.
Yeah, Bates, unfortunately, currently in this first quarter, just can't get that roll. His shots haven't been massively off target, just haven't had that shooter's roll to get some conversions.
Nice pass, and May to the basket.
Yeah, and that was a great screen there by Dan May into the pick and roll, into a nice little finish.
Bates cross court to Thompson. Up top again to Bonner at the foul line. That's the gap in the defense. They're so concerned by the wings.
Yeah, and unfortunately, sometimes you have to give up a shot. He's made a couple now, so there might have to be a slight adjustment there from Coventry. But when you've got 3-4 strong offensive threats, someone's going to probably score.
Smith to May manages to lose the defenders for a second, but the quick hands of Bates denied him. Bates under pressure, able to score this time. And that is good from Hassel. He's up to 6. Good spread scoring from both teams here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be really important throughout the whole game.
Give and go from Thompson, and the extra pass from Bates to Bonner takes the foul. He'll go to the line for a bonus.
Yeah, it's a great offense there from those 3, and those 3 have been key in keeping Steelers within that game in the first quarter. Fantastic high scoring first quarter of this Premier Division semi-final.
If you think the first semi-final,
They only half time.
20. Yeah, they only had 20 points between them in the first quarter, and we're not far off both of them having 20 here in this second semi-final. Smith using his size to shoot over Nagel, but
It's a great shot there by Smith. He's been fortunate again not to just get that lucky roll into the basket.
Thompson back to Nagel. No, he threw it back to Thompson, but
The right idea, just no communication on that pass.
Bonner with the rebound. Shot clock is off here. Last 5 seconds. Bonner around the screen, back to Bates, but an offensive foul is called on Bonner. 1.2 seconds left in the first half. Turned over in the end. That'll do it for the first half, first quarter even. A good first quarter as well. Both teams showing what they have offensively. Coventry also just forcing a few turnovers. And that's why they have this narrow lead at the end of the opening quarter, 21-17.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame that these two teams aren't in the final, to be fair, because this is a great spectacle of the top division of basketball. And at this moment, Steelers finally in the last kind of 3 or 4 minutes have found their offensive groove and what's working, and Con Nagel being able to finish those shots inside is what's going to hopefully set them apart to potentially get the win. But at this moment in time, I can't call it, and I think it could be an 80-plus point game for both teams.
Well, it's certainly on that sort of pace, the way they've been scoring. Has a feel of one of those games where the first team to put a defensive run together might well get on top.
Absolutely. As we said at the start of the game, both teams thrive on their ability to score, and like you said, if it's which team turns up defensively that's going to be the difference here, I think. But yeah, phenomenal game, and I hope that it stays a close game throughout, to be fair.
Well, the possession arrow favouring the Steelers, so they will get the first go at an offense in the second quarter as they make their way out on court. Well, again, Coventry chasing away on the loose ball. May first to it, but Bonner using his size to steal that right back. Nagel in the near corner is Thompson, who knocks down the shot, her first points of the game.
Yeah, Maddie Thompson's ability to catch and shoot and score that ball is it can be something that damages a lot of teams. She's been scoring 15-20 points a game in this Premier Division, and as a female in a male league, that's very impressive.
Nice pass from May, and an even better finish underneath. It was not easy at all.
No, and he won't even mind me saying this. His usual offensive isn't putting the boards on the floor, points on the floor, his ability to create for others. But today, he's really stepping up and making every opportunity he gets.
6 points now for Sam Mack. It's Thompson again, whose job is to put points on the board, and she's certainly doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the time, I'm glad she's my teammate on the GB side, that's for sure.
Robinson. Pass was a little short, but it did reach Hassel in the end.
his ability to shoot the ball, it's so natural. I've asked him a million times how he does it, and he just does it naturally, shooting the ball.
Nice pass from Thompson to Bonner. Didn't quite have enough to get that over the rim though. Bates long arms denies the outlet pass, and suddenly it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1. And we have a wedge here as Bates hits the deck. Let's see if any of the referees have got the hops to get up there and bat that one away. My guess is no.
My guess is I would like to see them at least try. But no, great job there by Bates to be able to get that steal. It's just unfortunate that he didn't have enough on him to get that up and over. I'm glad Tom Smith did that on the first attempt, because I tell you, I would not have got that on the first attempt.
See how the ref also said you do it rather than trying to do it themselves.
Maybe if it wasn't on camera they might have, but they might have got a bit more hard.
Gap is 3 points here early in the second quarter. CWBA with the lead and the ball. Ooh, Robinson threw that the opposite way from where Hassel was going.
That's unfortunate there with that pass, but we see some substitutions coming into the game.
Ryan Smith
Yes.
taking a break.
Yeah, and Jack and Elliott, again, their ability to keep momentum going and the intensity of this team, they won't drop too much, I don't think.
Also being harassed at midcourt. Robinson flicked away by Bonner. It will stay with CWBA. 9 on the shot clock. Over to Robinson. Has to fire it up as the shot clock was getting low, but took a foul in there as well. So we'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and you can see by George's reaction there that he's disagreeing with that referee's call. I think he's questioning Con just being knocked out of his chair as opposed to fouling the shot, but Coventry won't argue it and hopefully knock these two down.
First one good. Nagel onto Bonner. Shot comes back towards him. He's able to pull it in. Over to Bates, who takes the shot and gets a friendly roll.
Yeah, and finally, at last, that friendly roll has gone in George's favour.
Nice finish off the glass.
Yeah, and great pressure there by Steelers defence as well. Hassel just is on fire today.
Bates front rims the shot. Steelers just can't quite getting an offensive rhythm, not consistently at least.
Jack Long there, it's his first season with Coventry. He moved from a club over to join our team, and his impact within and development within the team has been phenomenal. So great to see him here within the Premier setup.
Shot rims out. He chases down his own rebound.
That's unfortunate there for Con Nagel. He did absolutely everything he could to grab that ball, and being pressured by 3 people, his only option was probably to go on the floor.
They've looked comfortable, haven't they, with the mid-range shots in this game so far. That's Robinson's 4th make of the game.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that Coventry's game plan has gone back to that mid-range. A couple of times this season when I've watched them play and been there with them on the bench myself, they've been looking to force baskets inside, and with the height of Maddie and George and Bonner going inside with the lows, it doesn't work. So thankfully the mid-range game today is in their favour.
Well, the lead is in their favour as well. 24-33 the advantage. It's their biggest lead of the game so far, which is why the Steelers have called a timeout.
Yeah, and I don't think Steelers are doing anything particularly wrong or they need to change anything drastically. I think it's like what you said earlier, they just haven't had a consistent back-to-back offensive role. Maddie Thompson hit those 2 baskets back-to-back and they haven't hit it again since, and I think it's just find something that works and stick with it until it doesn't work anymore.
Well, they are shooting 50% from the floor. Steelers. It's one of those where you look at the numbers and you sort of think, well,
any other game and they would they'd be winning, yeah.
It certainly doesn't look like a 9-point game if you were just looking at the stats. But the only numbers that matter are the ones on the scoreboard, and they at the minute favour Coventry. Here's Bonner at the top of the key, inside to Bates.
Yeah, that's a great pass there by Bonner into Bates. Straight away wants it straight into the basket, and if they can do that more consistently, Steelers might be able to creep away with the scoreboard.
Well, that pass had very little chance of reaching its intended target.
You can see there Robinson telling his team just to calm down. They haven't got to force anything. Their mid-range game's been so strong that force it inside the key, then probably no need to do that.
Pass right on the money. Bates though with the rebound. Nagel out in front. Thompson ahead of him. Well, it falls nicely to Bonner, who turns it into points.
They definitely got away with that one, that's for sure.
Ooh, behind the back. But once again, lifting the chair. Oh, that's a sloppy pass.
Yeah, and I think that's been the difference between Steelers and Cov. Their turnovers for Steelers. Probably a little bit, 1 or 2 many where they want to be right now.
Nice off the window for 2. Just keep their lead out to 7. Fed into Bates, trying to push him away from the basket, but too late.
You give Bates any sort of room on the edge of the key, and 9 times out of 10 that's going to drop for him.
But straight back at them come Coventry, and that's the thing, they've just had a response to anything that Sheffield have done.
Absolutely, and all of their players on the floor are looking to score, shoot and score.
think everybody who's come on has scored for CWBA. There's a wrestle at half court. Just got to watch those wheels on the halfway line.
And he just manages to keep within that half court.
So throws it up top, and another 2 points for Hardman.
And you know you're playing in, and you've got momentum in your favour. Your shots just feel so much natural. You're so confident, and that's what Coventry have got going in their favour right now. All the shots they're taking, they're shooting with so much fluidity and relaxed. But there, Thompson has an answer.
Well, Thompson from that spot is.
It's just 3 from 3 out there, isn't she? I believe, and I think Steelers' ability to hopefully keep going back to that will be the difference.
Oh, here's Hardman again at the top of the key, same result.
Yeah, I think the Steelers are that worried about Hassel and Robinson scoring that Hardman's gone, okay, then I'll show you that I can also do the same.
Nagel from the free throw line. His shot is short. Chance for CWBA to stretch their lead to double figures here. Nobody stops the ball, and that's.
Didn't even look at the basket there. That's just showing off there from Hassel.
And it's an 11-point lead just before half time. Thompson on this near side goes back to Bonner. Cuts inside, nice pass, and Bates is there to lay it in for 2.
Yeah, and that's where Coventry were that worried about Thompson making that shot from the outside. They almost forgot that their other key player, George Bates, on the other side of the key.
Robinson gets his own rebound. Back out to Hassel. He'll take the 3-point shot, and he'll make the 3-point shot.
That boy, honestly. All I can say is give him room to shoot, and it's going in.
He's 8 for 9 for 14 points.
And in a half as well. That's impressive stats.
And it's a 12-point Coventry lead.
I believe that's probably one of their biggest leads they've had throughout this whole Premier season. And like Ali said earlier, that it's all starting to come together, and I don't want to jinx it, but finally it's all coming together for them.
Here's another one. Oh, nearly back-to-back threes from Hassel. Thompson in the mid-range. Shot clock is off. CWBA can try and take their biggest lead of the game into the half, and not quite. But they're going to do that with Robinson. Good chance for Bates from half court. Doesn't go, but what an excellent second quarter for CWBA. 25 points in that period, won it by 8, and have stretched their advantage over the Steelers to 12 at the half.
Absolutely phenomenal performance on both sides. If I was going into a half with 34 points, I'd be pretty happy. Just the fact that Coventry's shooting percentage and their ability to play as a team and allow everyone to contribute has been absolutely phenomenal, and been forcing some harder shots for the likes of Bates and Thompson the other end as well, as hopefully they can keep this going forward for another 20 minutes.
Well, there are not many times where you shoot 50% from the 3-point line. You don't have an excessive amount of turnovers, maybe 1 or 2 more than you'd like, but there's still 12 points down at the half. That's how well Coventry have managed to score the ball. 57% from the floor, made a couple of threes in there as well, perfect from the line. He's just shot the ball really well.
And it's almost like who does Steelers leave? Who can they afford to not shoot the ball? At the moment, Coventry, all of them are shooting well.
So Steelers definitely need to do something to disrupt the rhythm of the CWBA offense right now. And as I say, they've shot the ball all right themselves, and they've just perhaps not had quite the bounce of the ball on one or two of them. But they've got the offense to do it, but they're going to need to do something to make life a bit harder for Coventry at the offensive end. Well, teams getting ready to come back out for the second half here at the Sports Stock at the University of East London, and a place in the final against the London Titans at stake. And on the first 20 minutes it looks more likely to be CWBA than Sheffield, but there's still a long way to go in this game. Well, you feel, if you're a Steelers fan, that actually, if we played the way we played in that first half, we did a lot of good stuff, and you know, the scoreboard doesn't show it, but then there's not a massive difference between these two teams.
No, absolutely. It's just that Coventry's been able to capitalise and finish on all their majority of those shots, in their mid-range especially.
Here's Robinson getting into the key. Little pump fake pass, and then he threw it at the opportune moment.
Yeah, and that's the difference between both sides. Coventry at the moment, no matter who you give the ball to, is looking confident with their shot.
No, it's not the best of starts for the Steelers here.
Yeah, when you're down by this much, you can't afford to make them silly errors.
Robinson along the baseline gets that one to bobble in, and the Coventry fans getting louder and louder with each basket.
I definitely think Coventry are going to be very impressed and pleasantly surprised with the performance they've put out today.
Eagle drops it off to Bates. Well, the second half has not started well for the Steelers. Robinson mid-range is good.
You don't want to give that boy any space or time to shoot.
Bates trying to force his way into the key, gets caught, so he will shoot two. First one good. First points of the second half for the Steelers after the opening 6 had been scored by CWBA. Robinson. Good hands from Bates to deflect that away.
Yeah, at the moment, Steelers just can't seem to get themselves offensively going. Can't seem to be able to get any momentum going. So hopefully, if they can get a few defensive stops, it will give them a little bit of confidence going into their offense.
Well, there is a stop, courtesy of a pass that went awry. Bates cutting through the key. Good help defense to deflect that out of bounds. Thompson back to Nagel. Nagel on the drive for two.
Yeah, he's individually so far this game played a very good game.
Well, Robinson trying to get past Nagel, but there's no room there. 1-2 from Hardman, drops to Bates. Nagel up top to Thompson, back to Nagel, and he strings that one.
Great offense there by Thompson and Nagel, and Nagel's the hot hand. Let's keep feeding him for a bit.
Long 2 from Hassel is good.
But like you said, every time the Steelers get a make, Coventry have an answer for it. So at the moment, it's hard for them to narrow this scoreline down.
They've got to find a way of stringing some stops together, the Steelers, if they're to get this back to a manageable margin. That's deflected into the backcourt, and Nagel will let it run out of bounds. They'll only have 9 seconds to work with. Nagel over to Bates, end of the shot clock, gets it away. Four on 4 at the moment, and Coventry take advantage of that.
Yeah, they just seem to be in an offensive stride throughout this whole game, not panicking, just being able to get to the positions that they want. And luckily shooting at a very high percentage. Just like you said, Steelers' ability to be able to string some stops together and get some steals to hopefully get their offensive momentum.
Well, they won't get momentum like that. Williams with the needless foul, really, in the middle of the court. Turns the ball back over, and it's turned into 2 points. Coventry starting to pull away here in the third.
For Coventry to nearly be at 60 points in the third quarter is absolutely phenomenal from them.
And Bates trying to do it himself. And the basket will count. He'll go to the line for a bonus. He converts the 3-point play. But it's at this end of the floor that they need to put it together now, the Steelers. Hassel all the way to the basket for 2.
And I'm not really sure what else George could have done then to put Hassel off the shot. The way he just slipped through that to get that shot off, absolutely phenomenal there from Liam Hassel.
Nagel spinning to the middle. Bates just got his hands onto it. Sheffield able to recycle into a new 14, but they can't get points at the end of it. Robinson driving through, quick outlet from Bates. Nagel draws the defense, dumps it off to Williams, but
Great block there by Thomas Smith.
Smith to deny. Hassel driving in, and there's no way past Bates. End to end at the minute. And Nagel is fouled by May.
Yeah, and I don't think Steelers' scoreline necessarily reflects how hard they are genuinely playing. It's not like they're necessarily giving Coventry the shot opportunities. It's just their conversion rates are just slightly higher.
And Coventry is shooting 61% from the floor. Hassel, by the way, is 10 of 12 for 21 points.
Absolutely phenomenal, and I think, and I've said it a couple of times now throughout this game, but this is the weekend that Coventry knew that they needed to put on a performance. They were the underdogs. They may have finished third in the table, but they were the underdogs coming into this weekend, and they've shown, you know, the best teams that they are. They do deserve to be here and put on a great performance.
Well, they have, through 26 minutes, done exactly that, but they've got to see it out in these last 14, and the Steelers have the offensive firepower to make up the numbers.
100%.
The question is whether they can slow CWBA at the other end of the floor. Thompson looking for some options. It's not a great deal on for her. And that's stolen away by Robinson. Can he get it out to the two teammates in front breaking? Yes, he can. And there is Hassel once again to move to 23 points.
Wow.
And it's a 20-point lead. Bates underneath is fouled and somehow gets that to go. He is one guy who certainly couldn't put a big number on the board in these last 13 minutes. They're going to need that.
Yeah, he's definitely a player that thrives in these big games, and he's, you know, with his international experience and his experience of playing abroad, he won't be fazed by a crowd or even a game where he's down. It's just whether his teammates around him can support him to be able to create them opportunities for him to be able to finish.
Oh my goodness! A big three from Hassel, who has 26 points now.
And he's just looked over at the bench. I imagine knowing Hassel pretty well, he gave them a cheeky wink and said, you know, I've got this, lads.
Bates trying to reply. Gets two. Robinson's going to launch the three now. Bates around the screen. As it deflected away, that will stay with Sheffield. Bonner working hard to get into the key. Gets his own rebound. And it didn't hit the ring, so shot clock violation. Or did it hit the ring?
I mean, there's 3 referees on. You like to think that one of them would have seen if it hit the ring or not.
Well, they've decided it didn't, so it is a shot clock violation. Pass, but blocked from behind. Hassel, with time running down on the offense, fires up another three, and he strings that one as well. What a ball game from Liam Hassel.
And absolutely, Steelers couldn't have been more in his face. And when a player's feeling it offensively, a player's feeling it offensively. And his performance today, unfortunately, you're going to struggle to stop it.
Oh, he's got 26 points off 16 shot attempts. Incredible level of efficiency. Oh, how's he kept that alive? Hardman in there, gets his own rebound. And at the second attempt scores.
Yeah, and I definitely think just that play right there shows how much Coventry are up and have the momentum in their favour, that's for sure.
Well, the Steelers have 11 minutes to do something about this, but they're 21 points in a hole. It's hard to see where they can get back in. It's got to come defensively, that's the problem.
Yeah, they definitely, like you said earlier, they definitely have the ability and the players and talent to do it offensively, but they don't seem to be able to get a couple of stops in a row to stop Coventry's momentum. And when you've got the likes of Hassel shooting at the efficiency that he is, and even when they stop him, you've got Hardman and Robertson also finishing. It's tough.
Well, as it stands, Sheffield will need to have the highest scoring quarter of the game and concede no points, and that still wouldn't be enough. That would still not be enough.
I wonder if they might have to start shooting a few free balls. Like I said, Maddie and George are very capable of that. It's just whether they want to at this stage of the game. Realistically,
though, you know, what could they score in a quarter? 30. Well, then that means you've got to keep them under 10. Oh, Bates at the second attempt puts 2 more on the board.
Yeah, and Steelers are having a pretty good game. Coventry just having an exceptional game.
Yeah.
And it's hats off to them.
Although that was a little more open than the Steelers fans would like to see.
I think they're that concerned about Hassel's shooting percentage, but Coventry's ability for everyone to shoot and contribute today has been outstanding.
Bates takes the contact. They're over the limit, so it'll be 2 shots, whether he was in the act of shooting or not. I don't think Coventry, apart from Dan May, they've got no real foul trouble to worry about in the 4th quarter.
No, and even if he was on the floor, they've got enough on their bench to be able to substitute and keep this momentum going.
Hassel again, well, a rare miss. Bates is going to have to heave from distance, sizes one up. And that does not go, but another very good quarter by Coventry. You look at the scoring by quarter, 21 points, 25 points, 26 points. They're getting better with each quarter.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound biased here, but I am very, very impressed with Coventry's performance this weekend. A team that have always been there just about, but never quite had that final ability to take the top teams off the pedestal. And hopefully this weekend, don't want to jinx it, they're probably going to get this win, and I really, really hope that they do it tomorrow as well, because their performance and their improvement over the last couple of seasons has been astounding.
Well, they're not over the line yet, but they're within touching distance of it for sure. As I say, the most amount of points that the Steelers have scored in a quarter in this game is that 3rd quarter where they scored 19. Well, if they score 19 in the 4th quarter, it'd get them to overtime if Coventry don't score at all.
And unfortunately, if they'd have had episodes in this game where their shooting percentage were flat, I might back you on that one, but their percentage this game has been phenomenal. You know, a team to be shooting at 60% plus in a game like this, can't really complain of that. And it just proves that they work hard and keep with the basics, and everyone on the floor is contributing and capitalising on the shots that they get. That's been the difference. Unfortunately, Steelers have been relying on the likes of Bates and Thompson to get the job done, and it's easy then for Coventry to defend those 2 players.
Well, Coventry will start with possession at the start of this final quarter. They're 10 minutes away from reaching the final, where they will face London Titans unless Sheffield can have their best quarter of the season.
And I believe it will also be Coventry's first ever Premier final, so a huge thing for them.
It's out of bounds. But Ali said it, didn't he, in the pre-game? This is sort of like 2 years in the building.
Absolutely. Some of these players, you know, they're my age group, so 24 and below. Their ability to be able to compete against some of the best players in the country was always going to take time for them to be able to learn and gel together. And it's phenomenal to be able to see it all coming together.
And there they are in the open court, making life look easy.
Yeah, when all 5 players on court were my teammate in the junior setup all through, with when we had a very successful time within the West Midlands setup for years, to now see them doing this, it's very good. But on the flip side, Steelers haven't had a bad game. They just haven't really been able to get on their offensive group or their defensive group for a consistent amount of time.
Well,
and when shots like that go in Coventry's favour, it just proves where the momentum's been today.
It's been waved off, though.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah. CWBA, WBA fans thought that as well. The offensive foul was the call. Bono. It's funny, really. You say 53 and 3/4. It's not really that bad.
No, you'd be impressed with that. If you saw that scoreline, yeah,
that sort of
absolutely.
number.
But hats off to Coventry, their shooting position, and this man here, his ability to find that open shot, and he's hit some big shots with players in his face as well. Yeah, phenomenal performance from Liam Hassel today.
Well, he's into the 30s now, 31 points, 14 of 18 from the floor.
Yeah, and there have definitely not been that many layups either. There have been tough outside shots for him to finish.
There's 3 or 4 from behind the arc. Robinson from the mid-range, and you think back to the beginning of the game, those were the shots that really got them going, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's really important that Hassel doesn't feel like he has to solely win this game when you've got the likes of Robinson, Hardman, Blanc, all of them. I could list their whole bench that have played today. They've all taken the opportunity to finish those shots, and Sam Mack finishing them cheeky layups inside is what's kept them with this lead throughout the whole game.
Well, Robinson has 17 points to his name, and Sheffield, who needed a monster fourth quarter, have seen the first 6 points of the final stanza go against them. Coach Gav Hayes is talking to his team, but he will know they're not going to make up 25 points in 8 minutes. This is about getting themselves.
I think it's similar to the game earlier, isn't it? It's when Mo Hawks were down, it's their ability to find an offense that works and sets them up for tomorrow. And they can go into tomorrow confident that they have the ability to play here. They're the top 4 teams for a reason. It's not going to be easy. But Coventry have just had an astounding game today. And something that I've really enjoyed watching the players absolutely thrive in a setting like today. And that's a Hassel being put to the bench. With Dip and Shah being subbed on for the first time this game.
Trying to make sure that everybody's feeling good going into the final.
Absolutely. Dippin's a fantastic player, and unfortunately he spent some time on the bench this season because the players have been getting the job done. But yeah, a player with a lot of experience.
And here he is looking for his first points. That's just thrown away on a miscommunication. Sharma again.
It's a great pass there into Robinson. With that
Ball
extra
moving
pass
really
inside,
well.
absolutely phenomenal. And that's the difference, I think, with their growth this season. a lot of them wanted to be able to score 20, 25 points a game, when actually you'd make that extra pass and make an easier shot inside.
Well, as they're saying, the extra pass is democratic. It finds whoever's in the best spot to score. And, well, they're all in the best spots to score today.
And that's been the difference between the two teams. Every player that's came on for Coventry has taken their role very seriously and put on a great performance.
And everybody who's come on has scored. And the other way, all of Sheffield's points have come from their starting unit, half of them from one player. Well, that's an ambitious pass, and it got there. But a 3-second violation to call. Well,
and that man there today, Con Nagels, had a phenomenal performance. The game scoreline may not have gone in his favour, but great performance from him today.
Chance for a 3-point play here. And Ali Hope's going to call a timeout here, 5:43 to go. But with a
I think, to be
comfortable
fair, he'll
lead.
just be giving people a bit of a rest, a bit of a breather, just to get some water on, because there hasn't been that many long stoppages and stops in play. So just regroup, take a breather, and be ready to go again and finish this game strong and make a statement to London Titans that they're coming tomorrow with a vengeance.
Well, it'll be a fascinating matchup, isn't it? Because
Absolutely.
watch these two games today. You saw one team overwhelm their opposition with defence, and one team overwhelm their opposition with offence, and they're going to clash tomorrow and see which style wins out.
I think Coventry's ability to, with speed, I think they might be able to break down the Titans' high line a little bit easier than Mohawks, and they have the ability to finish mid-range shots. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, and one that I'm excited to see, because both teams have played each other and it's been very close. Both times they've played each other. I think they've both won one and lost one. And on Sunday they played each other and the Titans took it by a basket. So
Three-point play is converted.
yeah, and if you score 60 points at this game, you'd think you're taking the win.
Yeah. Not getting beat by 22 for certain. Lachlan into the game for the first time. There's 3 players surrounding the shooter, but one of them,
I think that was inevitable.
Williams,
One of them was
committed the foul,
one of them was going to get called for a foul.
So Smith, who in some ways has not really been required as much, perhaps, as normal.
What a nice position to be in.
Yeah.
You know, that usually, like you said, it's your big players, they're inside and scoring most of the points, but he still chipped away nicely and being able to draw defence to him to allow Robertson and Hassel to have those shots.
The other thing is, Ali Hope found a lineup with a couple of these bench guys that was just really working. So I'm going to leave this one alone here. I don't really need to change anything.
Yeah, I think that's a really important decision by a coach as well. Sometimes you can make too many changes to allow everyone equal court time, and playoffs like this, it's just about finding what works and sticking with it and allowing the momentum to go in your favour to feed all the confidence that you can going into a final.
Well, that's the thing, when you get to late in the season and it comes to the games are just about winning. It's not about what you're doing for next week or the standings. When you find a lineup that works, you ride it. It doesn't really matter who it is. Or nice shot from Thompson through the contact for the and one. And that's what Ali Hope found today. He found a lineup that, well, you look at the plus minuses, and actually you've got 2 guys off the bench who are plus 17 and 2 of the starters who are plus 3. And that just is the way it works. Some weeks you ride what's working.
Absolutely. That was smart there by Robinson to not have full control, but tip it off a Steelers chair to be able to get full possession of that.
Here's Lachlan. He's got too much time and space, really. Late shot clock. You know he's going to have to shoot that. They need to get out a little quicker to.
Absolutely. It's been
a
a little bit too easy for Coventry's mid-range, and I'm not taking it away from their ability to finish, and their shooting percentage has been high. But for probably 60% of their mid-range shots, they haven't really been highly pressured, as opposed to Coventry pressuring Steelers right out as far as they possibly can.
It's a little behind Sharma, but he's able to beat the ball to the sideline. Batted loose. Steelers come away with it. Thompson a little strong on that one. Reach in there from Thompson for the foul.
Yeah, smart foul there by Maddie, just to stop momentum and allow them to set back up. Probably a little bit too late in the game to be putting those fouls on to narrow the lead, but stops the shooter from shooting at least. When he's given that time and space.
And an offensive rebound squeezed back in. That was not easy at all.
Every little shot today has gone in Coventry's favour.
He might get to 100 yet. 3.5 minutes to find 12 points.
It's doable.
It is doable, particularly the way they've been shooting today. And that would be some statement in the semi-final to put 100 on the board.
Absolutely, and something I don't think Coventry have ever done. I think they've had games that have been 70s and 80s, but I would like to think that this could be one of the highest scoring games they've ever put on in the last few years anyway.
Well, they've only been averaging 67 points a game this season. So they really have exploded here.
Yeah, and I mean this in the nicest possible way to Coventry, and I can say it as a Coventry player, I'm very pleasantly surprised by their performance today, and something that I'm proud to say that they've done. They have put so much work in, and Ali's made sure that the last probably month of training is really been looking after the little things, making sure that the shots they've been taking have been the right shots.
In some ways they might want to save some of these makes for tomorrow.
Absolutely, but like you said, at this stage of the season you've got to play every game 100% because the top 4 teams in the country for a reason.
No, there's a rare
That's
mistake.
unfortunate there, yeah.
That's a nice finish in the key off the bullet pass from Thompson. Lachlan throwing it forward, but straight into the hands of Williams.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Lachlan there to try and not get the 8-second violation.
Getting good ball movement from Coventry.
Two minutes, 10 points, what we're saying.
I'm saying no.
I have to agree. I think it's Steelers are doing a great job at pressuring the ball for them to get it out. They have been getting as many transition looks. I think if Hassel was on and they were scoring a couple of threes, it might be possible.
Yeah, maybe. The other thing is the offenses get a bit longer when it doesn't matter. Although, will that count? Yes, it will. So a chance for 3 here. Johnson Rolfe getting a taste of the action for the last minute and a half. Three-point play is converted, 93 on the board. Gets in.
What a finish there from Coolwell.
Yeah.
I think he thought he was going to get called for a foul.
It goes to Hardman. On to Lachlan. She's harassed but spins away from trouble and knocks down the shot.
Yeah, that's a great move there by Lachlan.
It's just a question, will they get 2 more offences? I don't think they will.
If they really wanted it, they could try and get a stop now, but I think they're just...
Or you give up a score to give yourself more time. 35 seconds. They're going to need a steal, aren't they? If they're going to need a 3 and a steal. I don't think the Steelers want to be on the end of 100, that's for sure.
I think they want to be on the end of 95, to be fair.
That's true.
But, you know, when a team scores 70 points and the other team scores 95, sometimes you've got to take your hats off to the opponent. Any other game you score 70, 90% of the time you're going to take that W home.
It's normally a winning number, 70. But not today. Not even close.
No, crazy to think it's been a 25-point game with a game like that.
Again, you look at the Steelers' numbers in isolation. There's not anything shockingly bad in there. Maybe 1 or 2 turnovers too many if you were
being really picky.
But you know, shooting not out of the ordinary. It's not like they've had a terrible day. They've just met a team who were
really
on fire from the start to finish.
Yeah, and sometimes I think Coventry were coming into this not really knowing what to expect. Potentially thought Steelers might do it and just played with so much confidence and enjoyment. And today it's gone in their favour. And
CWBA will allow time to expire on one of the great performances in the club's history there. 95 points, a 25-point semi-final win, and they are into the final, and into the final in impressive fashion.
Absolutely, I'm astounded by their performance, and I'm so glad that they've been able to do it when it matters. You know, if they'd done this midway through the season, we'd have gone, oh, great job, you've done a game. But to do it on this stage today, when it really, really matters to make that final, whatever happens tomorrow, they can be proud of themselves for beating a team like Sheffield Steelers. And on the flip side, Steelers are going to be disappointed not going into that final. probably one of the first finals in a number of years that they've not been in. But to score 70 points and compete with a team that are shooting at the percentage that they did, fair play to them.
Yeah, it was led by their captain, Ian Hassel, with 31 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and an impressive 77% shooting. And as you say, sometimes you see a guy shoot 70% or even high 60s%, you think, oh, it's probably just all layups. It wasn't all layups. He's 3 or 4 from three-point range. There were some tough long twos, mid-range shots in there as well.
Absolutely, and today is for the first time in a little while that he just seems to play so relaxed. You may think that him scoring 31 points has been a selfish performance, not at all. His players around him have been able to allow him to have them open shots, and he's also made some great assists into those players as well.
And ably assisted by the likes of Robinson with 19 points, Smith 13. Hardman, I thought, was great when he came off the bench, really contributed in that middle period where they started to pull away. You know, everybody except Rolf, who played 90 seconds.
Well, you can't really say too much to him, can you? And, you know, the fact that he's an up-and-coming player to be part of something so special, yeah, he'll enjoy every moment, and he won't be bothered. He plays within the first division playoff and plays well, so he won't be fussed about that at all. But yeah, great job by commentary, and also a great job by Sheffield. You know, watching this game, it doesn't feel like a 25-point game.
And 26 points and 9 rebounds for George Bates as he led the Steelers. As you say, they played pretty well, the Steelers. They just met a better team on the day. So CWBA are into the final where they will take on London Titans. You can watch that tomorrow. We've got one more game left today, the Junior National League final. Siobhan and I will get ready for that, and we'll be back in half an hour's time. For now, goodbye.